Clarita has a lot of great neighborhoods, and in Valencia specifically, there are some like over-the-top neighborhoods, and I want to talk about those neighborhoods in this video today. Hey, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Danny. I'm a real estate agent in Santa Clarita. I live in Stevenson Ranch, so I know this area very, very well. And well, let's just get started with our very first neighborhood. And that's Westridge. Now, I want to explain. These neighborhoods are in no particular order of being best to worst by any means, because they're all fantastic neighborhoods, and there's a lot of great features to them, but it's too loud to explain them here, so we're gonna move. Now, there's a ton of reasons why Westridge is what it is. One main thing is that there's actually a golf course right across the street from one of the major communities, and a lot of these communities are actually gated communities. There's a ton of different amenities that are associated to a lot of these communities. That's aside from the pools and the community centers. There's a lot of amenities that go into what Westridge really provides, and that's why it's so sought after, and that's why nobody likes to leave. And that's one thing that's a recurring theme throughout all of these communities that I'm going to be talking about. People love to live in these communities, and they rarely sell their houses, and that's why there's no predominant agent within these communities, because it's so rare for them to sell their property. This just doesn't happen too often. One extra thing that I will mention is that it's right next to Stevenson Ranch, and Stevenson Ranch is like the bougie of all of Santa Clarita. But we're talking about Valencia. Let's go to the next spot. So the next community we got is the Woodlands, and I'm outside of the community because I can't get in. Security is that tight here. Now, one thing that's going to be happening throughout all of these communities is the fact that there's not going to be a lot of repeated models. A lot of these homes are really going to be very, very unique on every street. And that's always a plus for you as a consumer, because these are luxury homes, not necessarily cookie cutter houses, which is absolutely awesome. But on to the next community, because I'm pretty sure I'm about to get kicked out. The last community here is going to be the North Bridge community. I'm walking through one of the walking trails that they have here in the community. It's completely different from the last two that I showed you. The last two were of luxury, high-end homes, and this is more of the family-oriented type of community that I think Valencia really has a great image of. Now, this is a much larger community than the others that I've talked about. In general, this is the real family feel that I really like, and I wanted to make sure to point it out because it just feels good. You feel good when you're in this community. There's a park, there's a school, it's right next to the mall. Anything and everything in this community is absolutely pristine. I do also want to have an honorable mention of the Valencia 5 Points. Now, this is going to be a great community when it is officially built out. They're right next to Six Flags, which is that way. It's going to be a one-way in, one-way out entry when it comes down to it, which isn't the greatest situation ever. They're going to have another entrance into the community in the north side, I believe. But it's going to be an awesome community, and they're going to have a lot of new construction here. But when you're choosing your new construction, make sure you're very selective. Don't use Lennar, because they like to cut out agents, and you know what? That's just bad for you. And I know Lennar screws over their clients, because they did it twice. They took 2 clients away from me, and both houses have tons of issues. So be very selective. But that about wraps it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know I was very vague with some of these communities. They're absolutely awesome. And the fact that I wasn't able to get into these communities makes it that much better. And the fact of the matter is that you can't really get into these communities unless there's a house for sale. And there's never a house for sale. But if you want to learn more about what Santa Clarita has to offer, take a look at this video. If you want to look at one of my favorite videos, take a look at this one here, and you can subscribe right over here. Gotta catch my breath making these videos. Man, these trails are on hills.